Hello everyone, and thank you so much for checking out this video. Growing up, my mom's spice cabinet was always full of different spices. But before I started eating a low sodium diet, I really only used the salt and pepper. Now that salt is off the table, so to speak, an awesome benefit of this low sodium diet is that it's opened up the rest of the spice cabinet for me. I lost one spice to gain about 50 more. And today, I'm going to give you a tour of the spices that I have on hand, and I'm going to share some information with you about low salt herbs and spices. Now to start, as far as low salt herbs and spices go, most of what you see here is inherently salt-free. Like oregano is just oregano, parsley is just parsley, turmeric is just turmeric. There's no added salt. But with certain spices, it's important to check the back of the bottle for a nutrition or ingredient label that would tell you whether or not there's salt in it. For example, chili powder. Now believe it or not, chili powder ranges from totally salt-free to sometimes up to 50 milligrams or more per serving of sodium. Excuse me. This brand of chili powder that you see here is salt-free. And you can see that from the ingredients listed on the back. But that's something you have to look for, because not all chili powders are salt-free. This particular brand comes from Walmart, and as you can see, I use it all the time. Same goes for curry powder. Curry isn't a spice in itself, it's a blend of spices, which is news to me, by the way. Up until about a year ago, I thought curry itself was a spice. And while I have yet to find a curry powder with sodium in it, it's still a good idea to check the label on the back to make sure that there isn't any sodium in it. And speaking of powders, this may seem like common sense, and I apologize if it is, but it wasn't common sense to me 7 years ago, so I'll share it with you now. There is a difference between something like onion powder and onion salt. Onion salt, hence the name, has salt in it. Onion powder does not have salt in it. Same goes for garlic powder versus garlic salt. Garlic powder is salt-free. Garlic salt is not salt-free. And in fact, garlic salt and onion salt contain a lot of salt. So I think it's important to know the difference. And like I said, I know it sounds like common sense, and I'm sorry if I'm preaching to the choir. But again, it wasn't common sense to me when I started eating a low-sodium diet. You got to start somewhere. So I figure I'd ought to let you know. Now, moving on to some things that you do not see here. Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper, and I assume garlic pepper, is also something like chili powder that you have to read the ingredient label for. Because some lemon pepper blends have no sodium, while others have a lot of sodium. And that's something else I learned over the years. At first, I thought all lemon pepper blends were just lemon zest and peppercorn. I had no idea that most lemon pepper blends contain salt until I looked at the ingredients. Speaking of no salt blends, there are thankfully a ton of no salt added spice blends out there. I have here, from Target, a salt-free garlic and herb blend that I obviously use a lot. You can tell that by the fact that it's almost empty. You can see the ingredients here. They're clean and salt-free. The same brand also makes a lot of good salt-free blends, like lemon pepper and Southwest Chipotle. But sometimes the ingredients aren't as clean, and there's some preservatives in there as well. So if you're concerned about additives and preservatives, make sure to also check these blends for those types of ingredients as well. Next up, I don't have on hand, but you see pictured here is Tony Chachere's, and I am so sorry for mispronouncing that name. I guarantee that I mispronounced it. Nonetheless, Tony is another great brand for no-salt spice blends. They're unique in that they offer Cajun and Creole style blends. I do not have a personal favorite of theirs, but I tried them before and they're great. Mrs. Dash is also a popular choice for no-salt spice blends. My favorite is the everything but the salt blend. And the everything but the salt blend kind of encapsulates what I said at the beginning of the video. Losing salt as an option actually opened up every other spice to me. It's a real blessing that's really matured and diversified my taste palette as well as my cooking. Now, some of my favorite spices, in case you're curious, are rosemary, which I don't have right now, dill weed, chili powder, smoked paprika, which I also don't have right now. Some of my favorite spice blends are, like I said, the everything but the salt blend, but also anything spicy, Southwest Chipotle, for example. I also like to make my own taco seasoning, which is simply cumin, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, black pepper, and paprika. Other spices I'm missing right now that I usually have are thyme and basil. Now that's all I have for you today. I hope this quick tour of my spice collection was helpful and a blessing to you. I hope that you were able to take away from it information that improves and encourages your low sodium diet. The big takeaways would be check the chili powder. It doesn't always have 0 sodium. There's a difference between onion salt and onion powder. Same with garlic salt and garlic powder. And be aware that there's plenty of options out there for no sodium spice blends. We just have to be diligent in reading the labels and not making assumptions. Most of all, I thank you again for checking out this video, for taking the time out of your day to do so. And I hope, above all, that if you already know and love the Lord Jesus Christ, that you have a wonderful day with Him today. And if you don't yet know Him, I hope and pray that you search for Him with all your heart. I know you'll find Him. And I know that He came to save sinners. So don't let a checkered past or a guilty conscience prevent you from seeking Him. His forgiveness is complete and eternal, and His love is indescribable. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.